Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 7 of the Big Mac Challenge. So, normally I would not eat this early, but we are going to Preston's track meet, and we're not going to be done till like lunchtime-ish or later. So, I am going to have a half a cup of cooked oatmeal with some raisins and some pluots, which I had 2 left in the refrigerator. Normally I wouldn't eat 2 at the same time. I would just eat 1, but they were getting very soft, so I need to eat them. So, here is my breakfast, and basically I think there's 4 grams of fiber in my oatmeal, and I didn't count the raisins. I don't know. There's only a few tablespoons of raisins in there, so I'm not too worried about it. And the pluots, from what I remember the other day when I checked them, they each have 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm already up to 10 for the day, and I've just not even had breakfast yet, so it's very exciting. So I am going to go and have some breakfast and go to a track meet, and I will see you guys again tonight. We are making a pasta dish with spinach and what was the other thing in there? Oh, raisins. Of all the weird things, spinach and raisins. I thought that sounded really good, so we're gonna give that a try. All right, I'll see you guys again soon. Alrighty, guys, so we are home. Preston ran an 8-minute mile, which actually was pretty good considering it's 94 degrees out. There were kids that were like vomiting, like they crossed the finish line, went over the fence, and barfed everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, that is super unpleasant. Yeah, so anyways, Connor was sick this morning with a little bit of a fever, so he and I stood in what little shade we could find for almost the entire time. But that was totally fine. But like I said, Preston did an 8-minute mile, which is pretty good for him, and considering that it was 94 degrees out when he was running at that time, that's pretty darn impressive in my mind. He was like dying of heat. Oh my gosh, I don't blame him. Anyways, so we're home and we need to go to do a little bit of grocery shopping this afternoon, but before we do that, it was an early day. We need some food, more sustenance. So I am making some pasta to make a pasta salad for the boys for lunch, and Anthony and I are going to have beans and corn tortilla shells on tortilla shells. So super simple. This should actually have quite a few. Okay, so between these 2 cans, it's about 20 grams of fiber, and then we're going to split an avocado, which has a lot of fiber in it. I don't remember how much, but avocados are really high in fiber. I don't understand that, but anyways, they are. And this one has a sticker on it that tells you it's ripe when soft. In case you did not know how to tell if an avocado is ripe, I think that's pretty clever. Somebody actually is helping you out. It's ripe when it's soft. Anyways, then we have some corn, white corn tortilla shells. They actually have 4 grams of fiber per 3 shells as well, so they're really pretty good for you. So we're going to have that. Which I will calculate how many. Like I said, the oatmeal-ish pluots were 10. I don't know how much this is going to be, probably about 15. And then I'm still planning on making spinach and raisins and like a pasta dish for Anthony and I for supper for tonight. The boys have requested tacos, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not 100% sure about that, but got plenty of soy curls, so we can definitely do that. But anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna go and we're gonna do some shopping this afternoon, and I will see you guys again for a recipe this evening, and I hope you're doing great. All right, guys, so I am making a recipe tonight for supper. Oh, lunch had about 17 grams of fiber. So breakfast had 10, lunch had 7. Now I'm making pasta dish that is from the Mayo Clinic website, and it's basically called pasta with spinach and garbanzo beans and raisins, which I know it kind of sounds like a weird combination, but it sounds really good to me. So I'm not making this like the recipe calls for exactly. It'll be in the description box below, so you can go look at the link and you can make it that way if you'd like to. It does call for raisins, and my husband is absolutely not a fan of cooked raisins. So what you're supposed to do is basically you cook your pasta separate, and then in a pan you're supposed to warm up some oil and some garlic and cook your garlic, and then you're supposed to put some chickpeas in there and get that going, and then you're supposed to put in your broth and your raisins, and then once that's cooking for a little bit, then you put in the spinach, and then once that's wilted it up, you mix that with, that's like your sauce base, and you mix that into your pasta, which sounds great to me. That sounds perfectly fine. You're supposed to use a little bit of Parmesan cheese sprinkled over the top. This is one of the reasons I'm making this, because I've got some extra vegan Parmesan cheese, which 3 tablespoons of, no, 3/4 of a cup of oats, 3/4 of a cup of cashews, 6 tablespoons of nooch, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. or half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm not actually sure. Whatever it is that works for you guys in terms of flavor. Anyways, so I'm not going to do that in that direction because for multiple reasons. One, I would like my sauce to be thicker so it actually sticks to the pasta. And if you're just using vegetable broth, that's not gonna be very sticky. So basically what I did is I cooked up a couple packages of this red lentil pasta. It's the tubey kind. I cooked that, and then when it was done and about ready to be dumped out, I put the spinach, just big, huge tons of handfuls of spinach in the boiling water with it, and then dumped it. So it didn't actually sit in boiling water, just long enough for me to stir it into there and then dump it out. So it's not super well, it wasn't super wilty when I dumped it out. I don't know, it's sitting in the sink in the strainer with the noodles, and maybe it's more wilty now, I don't know. But what I'm going to do for a sauce is I'm going to take the chickpeas, and I'm not going to leave them whole, I'm going to blend them. So I'm going to blend them with the broth, and I'm going to put in the garlic in with that and make that into the sauce. And then I'm going to put raisins and black pepper on the top. And that's what pretty much those are the ingredients in the recipe. I'm just not making it in the order because I don't want my husband to have gooey, hot raisins that he's not going to like. And I may actually just leave the raisins off of his and let him put a few on there if he wants to try it. I think it's going to taste wonderful. I love raisins, hot raisins, cold raisins, whatever raisins are great. So I'm going to go get the sauce put together. I haven't done that part yet. So I'm going to mix a can of drained chickpeas with a cup of water and a cup of veggie broth. I'm going to use the no chicken, better than bouillon, no chicken base. Put in a little bit of garlic. It calls for 4 cloves of garlic in the recipe, so I'm just going to dump a little bit of garlic in there. And then blend that up, and that will be the sauce. And then on the top, I'm going to sprinkle on some raisins and some black pepper. So I will be back to show you my meal in just a minute. And I can do a taste test for you now, right? Because I'm going to be eating right now too. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, guys, so here's what supper looks like. Got some pasta and some spinach, got some raisins on top, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, black pepper. I have not tried this yet. Did you try it? No, he hasn't tried it yet either. All right, well, let's give it a shot with some goo and spinach and a raisin. It's quite tasty. Very good. All right, we're gonna go eat supper. The red lentil pasta with the chickpeas, this probably has about, I would say about 20, probably about between 17 and 20 carbs. I want to do that all the time. Grams of fiber. With the spinach and the raisins, and probably about 20. We'll go with about 20. So today's a good day for me. I got a decent amount of fiber in me today. So I'm gonna go eat, and then my husband and I are going to do some exercise later, so I will be back to talk to you guys about that. You know what? I really don't probably need to. We're going to do weightlifting. We're gonna do the Catalyst from Derby.com. I am going to do 10 pounds on 3 of the exercise, and 2 of the exercises I'm going to do 5 pounds. So there you go. I'm going to do 5 pounds on the tricep extension and the shoulder lifting one, because I'm like the biggest wuss there ever was. So that's how that's gonna work for me. Maybe I will try and do 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, but it's probably just gonna be 5s. Yeah. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna go enjoy some food with my kiddos and my husband, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.